The 25th Amendment, the 25th Amendment. I think we're going to be hearing a lot more soon about the 25th Amendment. One of Donald Trump's former top advisors, his former communications director, Anthony Scaramucci, posting 25th Amendment. Anthony Scaramucci also posting, complete the following sentence. Trump wants to crash the economy because... And George Conway, renowned lawyer, goes, because he and his senior co-president, Elon Musk, are textbook malignant narcissists, and as such, either consciously or subconsciously seek to destroy things in order to feel powerful and seek vengeance. And I've been saying for a long time that Donald Trump's mental faculties made him unfit, or I should say the lack thereof made him unfit for any office at all, yet alone the highest office. And when we see Donald Trump speak and behave, you can't help but observe what looks like serious mental decline. We were talking about that on the campaign trail. We were showing you the video clips where it appeared even that he was like relieving himself on stage and how he would forget what he was saying. But this delusional, demented man has started a trade war, crashing the economy. Doesn't seem like he knows what he's doing at all at any given moment, while his co-president, senior president, Elon Musk, is intruding, exploiting, seeking power over all of the various government entities and agencies, from the Treasury Department's payment system, which Musk and his team have seized, to the Office of Personnel, HR-related systems, seizing all the data there, going within all of these agencies and seizing sensitive classified or sensitive compartmented information. Let's go back to what Scaramucci's saying here. As a result of Trump's trade war, tariffs, warfare, whatever you want to call it, on our former top allies, where Trump's talking about seriously annexing Canada, taking it over, keeping tariffs in place until they become the 51st state. For those who are like, oh, Donald Trump's just saying that as a negotiating posture. No, the man is psychotic. He is demented. Class book, malignant narcissist, psychotic, demented individual who, frankly, there needs to be a 5150 hold, or the 25th Amendment needs to be invoked. Scaramucci goes, immediate price increases of approximately $3,000 per car for each American consumer as a result of Trump's tariffs. By the way, what we're going to start to see happen very soon is major American auto factories, by the way, in red states and blue states, closing, shutting their doors. That's going to happen right away, folks, as well. Just take a look at this. Just one of our allies in Canada that Scaramucci was interacting with, all of Canada, one of our biggest, fiercest allies before Donald Trump, still is for the peace-loving, pro-democracy loving Americans. We stand in solidarity with you, Canada. We just have a demented, psychotic individual running our country now. Eric Lombardi goes, 165 Canadians died for America in Afghanistan. We spent over $20 billion. Why? To defend you, our ally, on the invocation of NATO Article 5. Now America slaps us with depression-threatening trade war and threats of annexation. Unappreciative, disgraceful. We won't forget. Scaramucci continues, by the way, in response to Donald Trump's statement about making Canada submit and making them the 51st state, and lying about how Canada is killing hundreds of thousands of Americans with fentanyl. Scaramucci goes, this is of course nonsense, not grounded in fact. Trump wants to isolate America, even if it causes economic destruction. He doesn't like how much America has helped the world after World War II, and he wants to reverse our course. Bad outcomes ahead without a course reversal, which Scaramucci was saying 25th Amendment. Scaramucci then attacks Greg Abbott. By the way, Greg Abbott attacks DEI. He attacks people with disabilities being hired. Greg Abbott has a disability. Greg Abbott is a person with disability. Greg Abbott's in a wheelchair, and he's trying to prevent other people from getting access to jobs. And one of the ways Greg Abbott made money was through a lawsuit regarding his injury. Scaramucci goes, Why are we hostile to Canada again, Governor Greg Abbott? Explain it to me, because Greg Abbott's like, you better watch it, Trudeau. We're coming after you. More posts from Scaramucci about rising costs. Adam Kinzinger, former Congress member, goes, who gave Gramps his phone? How many times do I have to tell you? The poor guy is unwell. I wouldn't call him a poor guy, although his meme coin is crashing, that's for sure. He's crashed the entire economy. I'll say this too, though, about people who are around Donald Trump, who know better, who I think are also some of the most despicable human beings, specifically. I mean, Trump knows better, but I mean, you take a look at this guy like Scott Bessent. Scott Bessent is leading the Treasury Department right now. He's the Secretary of Treasury. He was a hedge fund guy. He was George Soros's top money manager. He started his own hedge fund. And here's a statement that Scott Bessent literally told investors in his fund a year ago. This is from Bessent. Tariffs are inflationary and would strengthen the dollar. Hardly a good starting point for a U.S. industrial renaissance. The tariff gun will always be loaded and on the table, but rarely discharged. Well, he's now part of an economic trade war, a soft war, whatever, a war on Canada, Mexico, and our allies that's destroying our economy. So shame on you, Scott Bessent. Your career is being a despicable traitor, and that's how you will go down in history, Bessent. You pathetic fool, you. Sorry there, just got a little, but he's a pathetic fool who should go down in history as equally as pathetic as Donald Trump. Rory Stewart, who Scaramucci reposts, goes, U.S. contracts plus treaties as opportunities for extortion, U.S. allies as clients to be fleeced, U.S. security guarantees as protection rackets. Trump is not forming alliances for a more stable and prosperous world. He's introducing the code of mafia. Kinzinger goes, for those farmers and farmer-adjacent folks that voted for Trump, what you're about to feel for these tariffs, we warned you about. So don't pretend that you didn't know. There are some people who are resisting. James Dennehy, the FBI New York field office head, is apparently saying that the FBI agents who Donald Trump fired for investigating criminals who Donald Trump pardoned, some of the worst criminals, while Donald Trump fired our FBI, who engage in some of the most important work in stopping bad guys who want to cause Americans harm and stopping terrorists. Dennehy's apparently standing up to Donald Trump. I'll just show you some of these clips right here. I mean, this is someone who is mentally unfit. Then I want to read for you what the 25th Amendment says so we understand the language of the 25th. Here is Donald Trump talking about invading Panama last night. Let's play it.
They violated the agreement. They're not allowed to violate the agreement. China's running the Panama Canal. That was not given to China. That was given to Panama foolishly. But they violated the agreement, and we're going to take it back, or something very powerful is going to happen.
Here is Donald Trump saying that America needs to suffer pain. Play the clip.
No, I'm not concerned. We may have short-term a little pain, and people understand that. But long-term, the United States has been ripped off by virtually every country in the world. We have deficits with almost every country. Not every country, but almost. And we're going to change it. It's been unfair. That's why we owe $36 trillion. We have deficits with everybody. We help everybody. We've been helping everybody for years. And to be honest, I don't think they appreciate it. So we're going to change that. We're going to change it fast. We're going to make America great again. We have to focus on our country. We have tremendous potential if properly used, and we have to focus on our country. Tremendous deficits with China, tremendous deficits with the European Union, tremendous deficits with Mexico and Canada.
And here's what Donald Trump says on Mexico and Canada. Play the clip.
I'm speaking with Prime Minister Trudeau tomorrow morning. And I'm also speaking with Mexico tomorrow morning. And I don't expect anything very dramatic. We put tariffs on. They owe us a lot of money, and I'm sure they're going to pay.
All right, now let's take a look at the 25th Amendment. It talks about in case of the removal of the president from office or his death or resignation, the vice president shall become president. The problem there is you then have J.D. Vance, who is equally as putrid and despicable as Donald Trump. And J.D. Vance is just a total fraud his entire life. You go to Section 4 of the 25th Amendment, here's what it says. It says, whenever the vice president and a majority of either the principal officers of the executive departments or of such other body as Congress may by law provide, transmit to the president pro temp of the Senate and the Speaker of the House of Representatives their written declaration that the president is unable to discharge the powers and duties of his office, the vice president shall immediately assume the powers and duties of the office as acting president. Thereafter, the president transmits saying that he's fine. And if the president transmits he's fine, it goes on to say then you need 2/3 of Congress to then basically override that and then say, no, he's actually not fine. And that's basically the process to then challenge that by a 2/3 vote of both houses that the president is unable to discharge. So that would rely on all of the MAGA Republicans who are not going to do it. J.D. Vance, who's not going to do it. But in terms of the mental capacity and faculties, Trump doesn't have it. We've been talking about moral character. We've been talking about mental ability. When you watch those clips, you see someone who literally is not well in the head. By any other measure, this would be a person who would need to be placed under an involuntary psychological hold. And I bring up the 25th Amendment, one, because Trump's former top aide, Scaramucci, brought it up. But two, we need to use the language that this is a psychologically, mentally demented, impaired. I don't want to give him an out by acting like this is a mental illness, which we need to take seriously. But this is an individual who is a psycho. I think I have to use that language. This is a psychotic individual who has nuclear codes, who is destroying our economy every day. And we will report honestly, fearlessly, until they rip this microphone from my hand. We don't have outside investors. I'm not going anywhere. There's no one who controls our content other than us. That's why I ask you, go to MeidasPlus.com, subscribe here. Let's get to 10 million subscribers on this YouTube channel and grow this platform bigger. I'm going to do what I can do every day to report, to use the language, to highlight all of these things. And then we're going to have to work with a coalition of people as well that applies the right types of pressure, the right types of litigation, the right types of actions, which we're working on. And then we focus internationally as well. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 4 million, then 5 million. Let's get to 10 million subscribers. Let's grow this right now. Thanks for watching.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Meidas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.